So if you want to share your screen, that might be helpful, especially for the recording. Perfect.
Okay, so for my presentation, I decided to show the process of how I made my hamster cage.
Oh my gosh.
And how am I going to make the cage? I will be making what is called a bin cage, which is a cage made out of a storage bin. To have good ventilation, I will be adding mesh to the top of the lid and drilling some little holes at like the very sides
of
the bin. And then these are some pictures of like some other bins. And then why wouldn't I just get a normal hamster cage? The normal hamster cages you find in a pet shop are too small for a hamster. Many hamsters will do things such as bite at the bars, climb the bars, run around the edges of the cage looking for a way out. This is all because the cage is too small and lots of room to run the many miles they run at night. In a tiny little cage, they don't. I'm just trying to give the hamster the best life possible. And then those are the pictures of the two small cages.
Oh my god. That's so cute.
And then, so this is how Isaac and I made the cage. So we started the project with a swap at Walmart to get a bin. Bin I got only costed $18, and if I were to buy one of the tiny cages they sell at pet stores, I'd be paying like $30+ for like a tiny little cage.
Wow.
We then went to Home Hardware to get the metal mesh. A big roll of it was only $9. After we got everything, Isaac cut the top of the lid where the mesh was going to go.
What did he use to cut it? Cut the plastic?
Well, to be honest, I'm not really sure what he used. It's like this kind of like spinning. It like spun. It looks like
it was like a saw.
Yeah, kind of. But like
yeah,
I think so. It was like a weird like air like hand saw thing that like spun around. Yeah, it was weird.
I know. It's like seriously, with scissors that would have been so hard. So that makes more sense.
Yeah. And then I filed like the parts that he cut off so it would be smooth.
Oh yeah.
And then after that was done, I drilled holes in the sides of the cage, and Isaac cut the mesh to fit the top of the cage. And then we glue gunned the mesh onto the lid, but I do not recommend doing that because ours have come off. So now I have like her food bag like sitting on the top of the mesh, so like she can't like push. I don't think she could because it's not really near like the sides of the cage.
Yeah, but you have to find a new attachment method. What if I guess the metal didn't adhere to the plastic? Is that what it was? Did you have enough overlap on all the sides? Because if you had more overlap, maybe it would work better. No.
I think it's because I think the glue gun was the part that didn't work, like the glue. And then we tried. I'm actually making another bin cage because Winnie, the hamster, is very spoiled, and I want to give her 2 big bin cages to run around in. So I'm going to connect them, and then we tried. Isaac thought that super glue would work, but then we went to the dollar store and got like the dollar store super glue. So like, and that didn't work.
Okay, so you might need the fancy stuff.
Yeah.
Are you talking like hot glue, like a hot glue gun?
Yeah, that's what I used first, and it didn't work.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, I would have thought that that would have worked fine. Well, good luck finding a new adhering method. You might have to resort to like duct tape or something.
Yeah.
It looks cool though, like the way you guys have done that.
So that is
wow. So had you seen this? You like found it on Pinterest or something, or just heard about it?
Well, I was looking. Well, I like to do my research before I do things. Like when I had my snail, I did so much research.
Yeah.
And before I got like my septum pierced, like I did so much research. Before I got, even though I'd had hamsters before, it was like when I was like you know, like when I was a kid. Yeah. So I did lots of research. Like I looked on like forums and everything.
Yeah.
And I found out like the cages were too small and everything. It's weird how like the pet stores will like advertise stuff as like safe for the hamsters and stuff.
Isn't that messed up? I mean, sometimes I find it hard to go into pet stores because I feel like there's so many animals that just don't have enough space.
Yeah.
Or the fish, you know, putting a tiny little goldfish in like the smallest little glass thing. Yeah, so that's really cool. So is the hamster ever going to run out of the cage? Are you going to make like a little pen for it for the grass or something in the summer?
Oh my gosh, yes, that'd be amazing.
Oh, you should. With your leftover wire mesh. Oh my god.
She does come out. Like, I think, like, the other day was the first time, like, I've taken her, like, out and, like, let her run around on, like, my table.
Oh, that's so sweet. Well, lucky hamster. And a fun project mentally to like work through some of the things that like didn't quite work out, as well as like creatively to have to actually put something together and make something with your hands.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. Well, why don't we get a little tour of your portfolio now? Seems like a good moment to dive in because this is probably one artifact within your larger portfolio.
To present. Can you still see it if like I do the presenting?
Yeah. It's just, oh, there we go. Yeah, that's perfect. Perfect, okay.
So this is my artifact portfolio in a Google slide because
that's
what I like. Yeah. And then topic 1, and then this is like the overview of all the artifacts in topic 1. There's the learning plan, something new presentation, and in what ways do I engage with my community mind map. And then I have the learning plan, and then I have all the links to the learning plan, and then the something new.
Whoa, pretty layout. I love how you organized that.
I like it way better than Mahart because you get to like customize it.
You get to move things wherever you want them. Yeah.
And then here's the mind map. And then in topic 2, we have the leadership workshop, which is like the thing that I just did topic 2. And then this is the video.
Oh, and you even embedded your video in? Nice work.
And then there's the feedback, and then we have the link to the meeting plan over here. And then this is topic 3, which was the leadership workshop with Kira and the gateway workshop with Michael.
Cute picture.
Put this stuff in.
You might not have linked them in yet.
I guess not.
We'll submit it by the end of the day then. We can still look through it right now.
Okay. And then I have the personal artifact. And then this picture of a cow.
That picture is so cute.
And then this was just a little like writing piece I wrote for English. I was very proud of it. So
nice.
This is one of my artifacts.
Oh, I can't wait to read
it. And then I made flashcards for English too. It was one of the exercises. So here are the flashcards. I had lots of fun. Isaac and I did this like while he was living in Mission. So like we Skyped and then we did it like together, and it was really fun to do.
That's awesome. And what was the project for? Oh, here. Was it 3 terms?
Yeah. Okay. And then this is like the other side of the flashcard.
Yeah.
And then there's the making my hamster cage.
Oh my god, it's so sleepy. Look at those eyes.
And then there's just a link to the presentation. And then this other exercise, it was for English too, and I wanted to put it in like how I did with the other one.
That's the craziest exercise.
Yeah.
Weird.
It was really fun. But all the writing didn't fit properly, so I just had to do the link to the document. And that is it.
I want to do that last one. I've done that before. I've definitely Googled myself, and I'm like, who are all these other Sarah Brisbans in the world?
Yeah, it was fun.
That's neat. What a cool idea. Wow, Emily, that's a wonderful collection. Look at that, 13 pages. Wow. And many of your pages have multiple artifacts on them. So I've got a few questions for you then. Looking through your artifacts, what do you feel is like the one, like your strongest artifact? Why don't we start there?
Like the one that's like the best?
Yeah, I mean, however you take that definition to be. So the best or the most representative of you this year, you know, or your learning this year.
I feel like the Gateway Pod Learner.
Nice.
This one was the best one.
And why?
I think it was like it was the most. It had the most to it. Like there was a lot of like, we had to like have the link to our document, and we had the meeting, and we had like the feedback and everything.
Nice. So there was like lots of levels to it.
Mm-hmm.
That's so cool. Yeah, I'm really grateful that we had the opportunity to work with Gateway so much this year. I'm going to connect back out to all of those educators and just say a big thanks from all of us,
Mm-hmm.
because in each of these final reflections, like you guys are all saying that your work with them was one of the highlights of your GM11 course. So that's really, really, really cool. I love that. What was the artifact that was most challenging for you to complete, and how did you overcome those challenges?
I think the artifact that's not in here, the Gateway workshop with Michael, I think that was the hardest because I don't know what it is, but I don't get emails from him. Like, even when I was getting, like, I wouldn't get emails from when I went to Surpass from him. So it was hard. Yeah, I don't know why.
That is the weirdest thing I've ever heard. It's just like a bias in your inbox.
I think that was the hardest, just because I couldn't communicate with him.
But then you ended up.
Mm-hmm.
Remind me of the conclusion. Did you end up going?
Yeah, I ended up just going in.
But on like the day of, and you didn't prep.
Yeah, and I didn't really do anything in the meeting. Like, I felt kind of bad because I had nothing like to really contribute. It was still fun to listen to.
Yeah. So then, if something like that happens in the future, how do you think you could like avoid having to show up the day of with nothing ready?
Well, I guess like prep, even though like you don't know what's happening.
Yeah, and try your best to work around whatever the tech issue is. So maybe, you know, working through me saying, Sarah, can you send this email to Michael? I don't think mine's going through. So like sending messages indirectly, and then sending in a support request to the school admin, just saying like, I'm not sure why, but there's something weird linked between these two accounts. Can you check it out for us? Or even, you know, finding Michael on Skype, or finding Michael's phone number, or finding like another way to communicate outside of the self-design email.
Yeah, good idea.
Yeah. Okay, so then looking back at all that you have learned about yourself in this course, what future learnings do you envision for yourself? So what you want to take from what you've done in this course today and can bring with you into next year?
Well, I feel like we did like a lot of leadership things, so I think I'll take that with me into not even just next year, but like with me into the future. I have the leadership skills now,
Nice. Okay, I'm just filling out little bits of this doc for us. We're just gonna take. Actually, yeah, let's do these ones too. Are there any learning processes that were new for you this year?
What does that mean?
Well, what comes to mind when I read that for you might be like the amount of like group work I was requiring of you guys. Like, so the whole like leading with a group of other people might have been new for most of you, whereas like, you know, you've kind of been put on the spot before and asked to lead something on your own. Or maybe it was the other way around.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I
Were either of those new though?
Stuff, yeah.
Yeah, the group leadership. And were you surprised by the end results of the group leadership?
Well, I mean, like, it went pretty well. I don't know if I thought it was going to be bad, but like it was all right. Like I wasn't too like I don't know. I don't really like group work that much. I like to do things myself.
I know. So it's it was hard.
But like it turned out good.
And then can you think of and this is similar to the other question I asked about like what you want to take with you moving forward, but this is a next step or a question that you might want to explore as you look over the artifacts that you've created this year and start to think about ones for next year. Next year's Guiding Mentor 12 course is based off of one large project. It's called your capstone project. So for instance, this year I had a learner who's a dancer and she choreographed a dance for her dance company, and that was her big project. You can kind of think of it almost like your personal project course in grade 10, but elaborated and way more connection and support with your guiding mentor along the way. So do you have any ideas for that, I guess is what I'm asking, and you can brainstorm just a couple.
I don't have any like specific ideas right now, but like learning about all the things to do with the hamster that like people don't really like know. I guess if you were going to the store to buy your kid a hamster, you don't really know that stuff, like it's a hamster. But like I don't know, I want to do something with animals, like something like that kind of. I don't know.
Animals and like animals and proper animal care.
Yeah.
Cool. That's a neat new interest of yours that I kind of knew a little bit about, but seems like it's getting stronger now that you've got a few more animals. At the bottom of this, actually, I'll share my screen for this little bit. I'll show you. Oh, I've got two screens. Let's see if it shares the right one. Screen one. Yes. Okay, so at the bottom of, I filled out lots of this for us while we've been talking, part A, part B, part C. Now we're walking away with our 5-point scale again, and this time it's just 1 mark out of 5. If you would rather do it out of 100, sometimes that's easier for our minds to wrap around. And this is basically like a cumulative or a holistic grade. We've done a lot of formative assessment throughout this course, and we've done a lot of specific assessments for your engagement or your specific topics. But this one is more so like looking over everything you've done from the second you stepped into this course to this moment right now. Where do you feel like you sit on this scale? So on the right-hand side, between 4.5 and 5 is basically saying that you demonstrate a proficiency in the skills and understanding of the course. You communicate your learning in a clear and appropriate way. You offer a critical and creative thinking. You demonstrate personal connection to your learning. So let's just start to brainstorm some pieces of where you feel you sit and why.
So this is like from like the start of the course till now. And like it's like the grade for like the whole thing.
No, that's a good question. This grade, I'm not in the right grade book. Let's open up the grade. I think this is a smaller grade. I think it's about 20% of your course. I can look it up though. But while I look it up, why don't you start imagining, and you can share your thoughts out loud with me.
I feel like at the start of the course I wasn't very into it, but like I feel like I've gotten into it more now. Like when I was doing like the artifacts and like my portfolio and everything.
Nice. I know, I'm actually really surprised in a good way with what you brought to the table today in terms of your portfolio. There's lots of thought that went into that. What do you think shifted for you from the beginning of the course till the end?
I think it was the, like we didn't really, like I think like it was very personal, like the last part of it, like it was what you did and you were putting it together and it wasn't like a group thing.
Yeah.
So I think that's what it was.
Nice, I love that. This exit interview, the mark that you're doing right now is 10%. So that's for your exit interview. And then when I'm doing your portfolio grade, I'm looking at those rubrics that you'll have filled out. Remember those, we did assessment for each of the topics. So make sure you link those to your portfolio, because I take part of that and I also take part of my own assessment to make this larger mark.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so then for 10% of your grade, what are you thinking?
I'm not sure.
Calculator out. A 4.5 is a 90%. Do you feel like you're sort of in that area? A little bit higher, a little bit lower?
I don't know, because like I wasn't very into it at the start. So like I don't know where.
And we have to, yeah, we take all of it into account. You're right, but it's good that it went the other way. I mean, it's right. Like it's good that it went that way. I mean, rather than you started off really into it and then got more distance.
Yeah.
So you kind of feel like maybe you're at like a 4.5 now, but you started closer to a 4.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to do something in between that then? Like we could just make something up, like a 4.25.
Yeah.
Okay. So that would be. An 85. That's awesome. Okay, so then what you do next is we stop this recording and I'll share